Hello, my friends. We're going to look at exchange traded funds, and we're going to have an assignment to help us invest in these very interesting investment vehicles. So, question is, what is an ETF? Well, an exchange traded fund is an investment that is traded on stock exchanges, just like you would find on the stock market. Very similar to a mutual fund, but I think they're faster. So they hold a collection of asset stocks, bonds, commodities, whatever the fund is basically based on. And again, little like a mutual fund, but I like to think that they're faster. You can get the liquidity out of it. You can sell it within the day. So stocks are traded in the day, and that's how ETFs are as well. Mutual funds trade after the day's closing. I think they both are very good instruments that you can put into your portfolio, and that's what we want to do. Start building portfolios throughout our career and our lifetime. Some of the features of an exchange traded fund. So, lots of assets in one purchase. I would like to have shares of Nvidia. I like the Magnificent Seven, so to speak. So I want Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Tesla, etc., etc. Those are all very expensive stocks, and I probably can't afford all seven of them unless I had, I don't know, somewhere around $3,000, and I could get maybe one share of each. If I put $3,000 into an ETF, I would have those funds as well as a multitude of other type of technology. So that's nice. Again, they're bought and sold during the market hours as well as after hours. Even on weekends on different exchanges like Robinhood will let you buy it throughout the weekend. They may have lower expense ratios. So mutual funds and ETFs, just remember, investments have to make their money, and they do charge you an expense ratio. And that's a yearly ratio based on your portfolio, the amount of money you have in that fund. Many times ETFs are just a little bit cheaper than a mutual fund, but that's probably not the only reason you'd want to buy one. It's just a nice extra benefit, may or may not be. You can see what is disclosed daily. So you will see the top 5 funds that they have. They'll always have the top 5 stocks and companies that they're invested in, or top 10, and those may change. You'll see it throughout the day or the next day. Like, whoa, I'm having more of one company versus another. And again, very flexible, my friends. Wide range of sectors and strategy. So we're going to try to build a strategy for this assignment. Again, mutual funds and ETFs are very close because they have diversified portfolios, and that's fantastic. ETFs, the key word in my opinion is speed. They are faster, so they trade throughout the day cycle. Again, a mutual fund, if you were to purchase your mutual fund, which are great, you would trade at the day's closing. On ETFs, you would get that minute by minute share price. All sorts of stuff. Mutual funds offer automatic dividend reinvestment. ETFs do as well. You just have to set that up, and that's it's pretty quickly to do. When on your Robinhood account, say all, or Fidelity account, or Yahoo Finance account, whatever account you want to use, just say all dividends reinvest. And I would definitely suggest that you do that because you're trying to grow a portfolio. And again, what's very interesting, we're seeing a lot of ETFs. The Acorns platform, those are ETFs, and that is completely managed. It's mainly managed by artificial intelligence. So now you have the speed of artificial intelligence decision making, which is only becoming faster, managing the account for you, managing the stocks and the bonds or the companies that it purchases. Mutual funds are typically managed by a team of professionals, and so that might be the difference between the two. Now, some ETFs are also managed by professionals, but you will see a lot by AI. All right, so now we know a little bit what an exchange traded fund is. What can we do with that? Well, the objective of this assignment is to build a diversified portfolio based on innovation, emerging technology and disruptive technology, and maybe try to also get a global perspective. Mutual funds are fantastic for your retirement accounts because they're very stable. ETFs go a little bit faster. So let's propose an investment portfolio where you do not need the money until 10 years out. So we are looking at a long-term investment, but that gives us an opportunity to utilize something emerging, something that's going to be high risk and high reward, and we invest in it systematically. So for this assignment, we're trying to create a 10-year ETF portfolio using AI. This is a great area to use artificial intelligence, your favorite model that you're using for the decision making. So if we can make it diversified among technology, that could be healthcare technology, quantum computing technology, AI technology, clean energy technology, whatever areas that you would like to go into. And again, this is not a sure thing right in here. So this is where I would say you put the most of your risk in an investment portfolio. But again, since they're ETFs, they have automatic more diversification inside the ETF because of all the companies it has. All right. So let's check it out. So here's the key concepts that we have been trying to review in this little assignment, little overview. Again, the structure, the benefits of ETFs, how easy they are to trade, and again, we're looking at a risk tolerance. So let's put something out 10 years. That means we're in the 2030s at that point, 2035, 2036, 2037. That's when you're going to want your income. It's always interesting, my friends, to have different portfolios set up in your investments, things that you need now, things for the future, and again, something for maybe even a longer future, but that can capitalize. Wouldn't it be great if you had we invested in the NVIDIA when it just came out, or Amazon when it just came out, and we were able to get that huge rush of growth. Well, that's what we're trying to get here. So here is the template that you just downloaded. Perfect. It's in Acrobat forms as all the assignments that I have, most of them. There we are. Put your name right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ETFs is what we're researching. Ticker symbol, the sector and industry that is coming from. Could become AI, could be nuclear technology, could be quantum computing. Want that there. Want the current price. So you will need to go on either your Robinhood account, M1 account, you can go on Google Finance, you can go on Yahoo Finance as well. The 3 and 5 year returns, the top 5 companies, again, all you have to do is type those in there, and their expense ratio. That's number 1. So let's find some ETFs. Now I said you could use AI for this, so Copilot. Copilot is what Tarrant County College uses, and you have an account right there. So I just said this, Pilot, I would like to research 10 ETFs that focus on emerging technologies, including AI, quantum computing, nuclear energy, and space data center build-out. You can put others in there if you'd like to. Once you do that, it's going to take a few minutes to churn it out, and this is what Pilot comes up with. So it'll give you just what you wanted. Artificial intelligence, advanced compute. So we have some good-looking ETFs in here, quantum computing, nuclear, AI power demand. All of this is going to be needed for the next. This is where trillions flow. All in these ETFs, all in these stock companies, all in these sectors. Trillions of dollars per year are flowing right into it. So let's see if we can take advantage of that. We're all going to be users of AI and users of technology. Let's also be an owner of it. Nice. Oh, very cool things. Data center build out in space, my friends. Hopefully you'll get to do this very well. So what I've done here is I took the first one. All right, AIQ, Global Artificial Intelligence and Technology. Now, what I've done is gone into Yahoo Finance. Very easy to go into. Just you can make an account. I would definitely do that. Yes, they're going to try to sell you everything here. But let's look at this. So this is AIQ. All I did was in the search button, right up in here, typed in AIQ. It's $54. I have no problem with you rounding up. If you just try to let AI do everything for you, you will get the wrong numbers. It's based on, again, very quick numbers that were done probably, years ago. Here it is, $54. Great. What are they? All the other information that I need. Well, you need the expense ratio, 0.68. All right, that means 0.68%. That's what they take from your investment on a yearly basis. Not a bad one. Anything under 1% I think is pretty good. Hey, if it's 2%, it may be doing phenomenal returns. So real quickly, there we go. I put the name of it. I got my ticker symbol, sector and industry. Just told you. It's in the AI world. It's $54. Now we want to find those returns. So you would hit performance. And so I'll just go ahead and open a couple of tabs up here already. Performance, I think you ought to look at is the 3 and 5 year. So over 3 years, this ETF has given you basically 24% return. Over a 5-year term, if we average it out, it's given a 10%. This year's, don't ever look at it's nice, but this is not real important, I don't think. I think long term, this is a 10-year hold here, my friends. So it's a 10-year hold. It's been an interesting year so far. This could be in 2026. Again, look at the long term. They don't really have a 10-year because they're not that old of a company. Great. Now, here's what the ETF summary is. This invests in 80% of assets and secured. So they buy other companies, their stock, in this field that they believe is AI and big data. So now we have that. If we go back to my first page, and there's some of the summary. If I keep going down, it's going to tell me their 10. They always usually give the top 10 holdings. I'm just asking you to get 5. So Netflix wings their portfolio. Almost 4% is dedicated to Netflix stock. Netflix has done absolutely incredible. And again, they're not just a movie company, they are a data company. Just think of everything that they know about you. Samsung. So we have some electronic consumer companies. Of course, now Samsung does more than electronics. They also build their shipyard building. South Korea's prize is the Samsung Corporation. Cisco. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, the big one right in here. Anything in AI, this has a chokehold on it. It's got to go through Taiwan Semiconductor as well. They have almost 4%. Again, Apple, Broadcom, Nvidia. Again, I just asked you for the top 5, just so now you know you're not investing in one company. This is where the diversity comes in. You have AI companies, you have consumer that also backed into consumer electronics companies, along into a lot of networking and AI build out companies. So that is, if we go right back here, that's where you'll put those information. So you'll find, I just went ahead and found another one. I think quantum computing is going to do something special in the next 10 years. It will just, again, just start researching quantum computing. Once you do even some little Google research or some AI research, you're going to see, everything will run through a quantum system in the next 10 years. And that will but once it becomes the fault tolerant, it will push us into general and super intelligence in the AI world. It has to have a system that can work that fast. $128 a share, expense ratio 40. Again, as we roll down, these are their top companies. Probably rarely heard of some of these. These are in the industry of making quantum components. It is a nascent technology, which means it's very new, but if you've never heard of it, as we have spoken, it's 2025, 26, 27 when I'm creating these videos. By 2030, it will be a ubiquitous name. And now is an interesting time to put that in your portfolio. 120, and again, you're not doing one company, you are doing multiple companies that are in the build out of this. So if I go back,
I can start putting in my ETFs right near the ticker symbol, the sector, the price, the returns, company's expense ratio. Now what do? Well, we go to the next page. And now, out of those six, one, two, three, four. You pick four that you would invest in. Same thing, ticker symbol, current price. Now, you have $1,000 investment. Let's say you got a graduation gift of some sort, and Gramps and Grammy and gave you some money. Congratulations. Well, we'll go spend it, but why don't we invest some of that? You can put any amount. You could put $250, $250, $250, $250. There's your $1,000. And then how many shares would you purchase at that price? Just so you know the share amount that you have. You could put 900, 25, 25, and then another 50 right there. However you would like to do it. But let's get $1,000, which I think is a reasonable amount. I'm pretty sure you could come up with $1,000 and get an investment going. Now we come to our discussion, our reflection questions. Of the four that you've put in, what kind of diversity do you have? Now, most of this should be in the emerging technology, so it is going to be a different type of risk, but since they're ETFs, we are diversifying among companies inside that. There's nothing wrong with risk, my friends, once we understand it. The worst risk, I believe, in the investment world is the non-investment risk. And that is simply putting all of your money in a bank account at 2 or 3%. That money will never double. It would take a lifetime for it to. You'll actually lose money. I love bank accounts for saving. I love for spending, but not for investing. Or bonds, the same thing. Those become secure. You'll get your money, but they're not safe because the purchasing power 10 to 15 years in the future will actually be at a negative rate. So, there we are right there. Also, your future growth. Again, answer these questions. Put 300 to 500 words between all three of these. Okay? And again, why would you keep this portfolio? Anything I can do to get you to start investing in the future, my friends, will be great. That's the project right there. Pick six. Look at them. Take your six. Narrow it down to four. Again, ticker symbol, the current price. You have $1,000 against those four. How much are you going to invest in each one, and how many shares will you purchase? And what are your thoughts on that? That helps us out for this assignment. Think of the investments that you can start right now and put these throughout your lifetime. For those of you students that are just, again, you're starting this whole journey, you're in your 20s, you have a nice long 40, 50 years to really compound and build some incredible wealth. If you're not 20 or 40 or 20 years old like me, you don't have those 40 years, you never know. You never know. Get it going. Instead of 1,000, put more in. It's a great way to invest. I hope you enjoy this project of exchange traded funds, building your investment portfolio.